Hi guys, I'm Peter Birch. Welcome to my channel. If you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button and the notification button to continue to join in my adventure. Today guys, I'm going to talk about keeping things clean. In other words, looking after yourself and looking after your animals. Welcome to CrittaCam. Alright, so the subject I want to touch on today is cleaning up. How do we make sure that we're doing the right thing, not only for us as a reptile keeper, maintaining our own personal hygiene, but also the hygiene of the little things that we love so much? Well, it's very easy guys. If you haven't invested already, then you need to heavily invest in disposable gloves. This thing here, right here, this little glove here, is going to save you so many hassles. And as a plumber by trade, trust me, you learn certain things when you're in the business. Number one is you never put your hands to your mouth. You can understand why as a plumber, but also as a reptile keeper, you can also understand why, because some of those nasty little things you get to play with every day will make their way to your mouth and then into your stomach, make you very sick, and that's something you don't want to deal with. Trust me on that, that's absolutely hideous. The other thing that I heavily invest in is F10. Now, F10 isn't just used strictly for veterinarian care, in other words, prevention of disease and infections and all that rest of that stuff, but it's also a great fecal remover. Basically, spraying this onto the feces helps break down the oils in the feces, helping it to release from the plastic, making it so much easier to absolutely remove and clean those tubs. And that is one of the key things that we need to do when we're working with our animals. The other thing I like to do is spend a little bit of time cutting paper. Apparently it's one of my favourite pastimes, sitting there cutting paper specifically to fit the tubs for the animals that I'm going to clean and keep. So always being a little bit prepared, spending a bit of time cutting paper, getting ready is one of the other cool things. Another one is I invested a lot of time and research into these little water bowls. So basically these little water bowls serve two purposes. Number one, believe it or not, they have a little area underneath here and they got this little notch out of it which enables the small hatchling animals to get in, sit under there, retreat, feel very comfortable and prepare themselves for anything that comes their way. And in other words, they relax a lot quicker and they feed a lot more readily. That's a big bonus. The next cool thing that I did with these water bowls is I found a little deli cup that fits inside. That's right, it fits inside. Now, not only is the deli cup clean, easy to use, it's easily disposed of, you can just pull it out, chuck it away, but one of the big key factors for this bad boy, it's recyclable. That's right, recyclable. So instead of adding to land waste, we can put it into the recyclable bin and it goes back and gets turned into more deli cups and makes your job a lot quicker and easier. I mean, spending time scrubbing water bowls is a thing of the past. Occasionally you still need to clean these guys because they do have a nasty habit of pooing in the water or pooing on the water bowl. So sometimes you've got to clean those. And you've always got to have a good amount of basically water bowls to be able to recycle and reuse. So you always have a few spares laying around. So if you've got 10 tubs, I always have about 15 water bowls. That way, you know, I can at least work halfway through it. And then if I need to go out and clean some more water bowls, I can do that and keep going. And that's the name of the game. One of the other key factors when working with animals is when you're working with animals in one environment and you've done the cleaning and the rotation and everything, and then you go to the next environment, well, make sure you remove those gloves, put them in the bin, put a new pair of gloves on. That way, if there's a problem in this room, we're not going to cross-contaminate the next section or even cross-contaminate the next lot of cages. So that's a really good thing. Cross-contamination can happen to the best of us. So we're always going to be a little bit more cautious in the way that we do things. Now, obviously when we're replacing paper, very easy. You know, you're just pulling out the old paper. So basically, you know, we pull out the tub, there's the water bowl with the water in it. There's the little snake sitting in there, and there's the disgusting paper that they've left behind for us. So basically, we remove that, we chuck that in the bin, get the spray, give it a quick spray of F10, Now, with the F10, if it's just simply for removing feces and the uric acids, you know, you can let that sit for about a minute. If it's for something more sinister, well, then you need to follow the instructions, and sometimes it's 10 to 15 minutes it needs to sit there to be able to get right into those nasty microbes and break them down. Now, if you don't want to be sitting here cleaning it tub by tub as you go, then just like the water bowls, you're going to have a replacement tub. So you're going to have replacement tubs. So they're clean tubs ready to go. Then basically all you do is you're putting in the new paper back in, water bowl's nice and clean. You put your water bowl back in, then you add one snake back into the box, and off it goes. Now, a lot of people continuously get very upset when they see snakes in tub systems. Now, believe it or not, depending on the species of animal, I'm not going to say it's right for all animals, because it's not right for all animals. Now, the species that I prefer and work with mostly are the Antaresia. So they're a small snake to start with. In fact, they're the smallest species of python in the world. The largest of these guys get to about 1.6 to 1.8 meters. So still a decent size, but I don't keep them in tiny little tubs. These little tubs here are strictly, this whole room is just for hatchlings. So the first year of their life, they go into these tubs. Now, small species of snake likes to hide, and they live in small areas. You don't go out in the bush, walk along and see these small snakes sitting out in a big open area basking. It doesn't happen like that. They hide in rocks, crevices, they hide in hollow logs, they hide under ledges, and they hide and burrow under deep leaf litter, because that's where they feel really comfortable. So knowing that, and you're bringing them into this environment, they do get in and they get underneath these hides, and they really love them. They get in, they coil around them, and they sit there in like an ambush position basically, because that's exactly what they would do in nature. So keeping this species of snake in these tubs is absolutely 100% magnificent for them. They thrive, they grow, they survive, and they reproduce, and some amazing things can be learnt by watching animals. So some of these other snakes, you know, if they're an arboreal snake, then something that's flat and low, not going to be very suitable. You want to have something higher. So, and the bigger bodied snakes with big, long, elongated lungs, definitely you need bigger cages. And I've always spoken about using bigger cages and using the most suitable cage for the individual animals. Now, if you're not using paper and you're using particle bedding, well, that opens a whole new can of worms. So let's go and check that one out. So here we are at one of my indoor little pits. So basically these guys have a nasty habit. Well, it's a pretty good habit actually, of pooping all in the one spot. So what do we need to do here? How are we going to keep this nice and clean? Well, I guess it becomes a little bit more difficult at times, but we're using the exact same process, guys. So number one, make sure we have rubber gloves. Protect myself and protect my little friends. Then we need to remove all that grotty feces. And I mean, isn't that really nice of them to poop all in the one spot for me? That's absolutely gorgeous. So we need to go through, remove all that grotty stuff, remove a little bit extra all the way around, and then we need to, okay, now we got to give it a good scrape. Get all those poop particles, give it a good spray. With our trusty old F10. And look at that. It just eats through that dirty old greasy poops. Give it a good scrub-a-dub-dub. Just like that. And that, my friends, is how we do a quick spot clean. And that's a nice, quick and easy fix to the poop problem we had here in my indoor pit. Now these guys absolutely love it here, and they can't get enough of their tucker. They really love their food. So I've got a couple of blotchies and some baby shinglebacks in here. I know it's an unusual combination, but these guys really love each other. I hope you guys enjoyed this week's show. Make sure you hit me up on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. But more importantly guys, if you enjoyed the show, do me a big favor, hit that like button guys, really appreciate it. And thanks so much guys for supporting CrittaCam. Thank you.